The big battle turtles. They are one of the most fun elements of One Last Monster. So let's dive into where they came from and why they exist at all. The main inspiration for me behind the battle turtles was the real-life turtle warship designed by Admiral Lee Sun-shin during Korea's Joseon Dynasty. Admiral Lee Sun-shin lived from 1545 to 1598, and the Joseon Dynasty lasted from 1392 to 1897. His turtle ships, in Korean they're called the Gobuksan, were often cited as the first armored warships anywhere on the planet. They used iron plating to protect against enemy fire, they had cannons, and they played a huge role in pushing back Japanese invasions during what is called the Imjin War from 1592 to 1598 AD. Now, if you grew up a Korean kid in America and went to Korean school, this is one of those stories you hear early on. It just sticks with you because it's such a vivid image. I think it also helped that I had a stuffed animal turtle growing up, along with the other bunnies and bears and whatnot. My nickname for my dad happens to be Mr. Turtle, so that connection didn't hurt either. So at some point, while developing OLM, I thought, well, what if the turtle ship wasn't just a ship? What if it was a literal living thing, a giant land turtle with a cannon on its back? So you put all these things together, and then on top of that, there's a cinematic lineage there that I was trying to evoke. Movies and anime love massive moving walkers. Things like the AT-ATs from Star Wars, the Oliphants in Lord of the Rings. These things are iconic designs that make any epic feel larger than life because they're so big. I like thinking that these battle turtles are part of that same family. Now, the lore around the turtles is still evolving, to be honest. What I know is this. During the early human kingdom conflicts on Adin, animals stayed neutral for the most part. They lived alongside each other, animals and humans, and kept the peace between them. Now, not every animal on Adin is intelligent, but turtles definitely are. They live for millennia. They're social. They just move slowly. And so they rely on alliances with other animals to stay alive, and in return they provide protection. When Adin finally unites under Emperor Tejo and Empress Yura, the turtles choose to fight alongside humanity against the alien invasions. I'm still deciding whether they're born with their cannons, kind of like Blastoise from Pokemon, or if the cannons are added sometime later by some other method. Now, in my head, these giant turtles also have ocean cousins as well. Giant sea turtles that function almost like submarines. I had even thought of another giant animal too, as I was riffing off of these turtles when I was making One Last Monster. Giant geese that served as aerial bombers at one point. That idea came too late though, because the shots were already done and the movie was being made. But I'm sure we'll see them in the future. All these crazy ideas, they all get to what I love creatively about making One Last Monster. It gives me room to do things that are honestly kind of wacky while still being inspired by Korean history. Notice that I didn't say grounded in Korean history. Adin isn't historical Joseon-era Korea. It's a distant planet inspired by it, and that distinction matters. It's what gave me permission to imagine freely without being pinned down by history or accuracy. Now, around the time I was developing OLM, I was also deep into playing Overwatch when it first came out. The Korean designs in Overwatch combined Joseon-influenced aesthetics with sci-fi in a bold way, and it was a guiding light for me personally when I was working on the film. It wasn't afraid to connect things that hadn't been connected before. I feel the same way about the 2009 Star Trek reboot film as well. I know some Trekkies hate it. I don't. I really love how it reimagined the original series with real visual muscle. I mean, it was nominated even for the Academy Award for Best VFX that year. That film framed itself as an alternate universe, an offshoot created by a black hole in the main Star Trek timeline, if I remember correctly. That gave the filmmakers room to really get imaginative and add things to Star Trek that were never there before, while also honoring the feel of the original TV series it came from. I bring up these two examples because I really value creative permission as a starting place for a project. The permission J.J. Abrams had, the Overwatch team had, and the permission I gave myself with One Last Monster. Giving myself that permission to explore freely was the mental move that unlocked things for me and allowed me to fill out the world of Adin. Why not combine things that didn't exist before? Why not ask, what if? Every time you do that, you're reshaping something that already exists, and you're definitely not starting from scratch. I mean, a blank page can be intimidating, right? But if you start from inspirations that matter to you, you're starting from somewhere. And for me, the excitement is in connecting those points, those dots, until something new takes shape. It really takes you for a ride. And that was the joy of creating the One Last Monster short film and new One Last Monster content that I get to create now. And that's the spirit behind why those giant battle turtles exist at all. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to support the work I'm doing with One Last Monster and gain access to exclusive OLM content as well, please consider joining our Patreon. The link is in the description below. Have a great day.